Chapter 18. Running Away.
He did not have a plan, per se. He didn't even have a direction. He wanted to run away from the pain, and there was only one place he knew he could do that. As it always had, the road called to Taylor, the only place of solace and peace. Trisha had been so great to him. He felt horrible for leaving her. He hoped it would not end in him running away forever. But for right now, all he could think about was getting away from everything. He just wanted to be alone. He wanted the road to dull the pain. He wondered if this pain was too great and the road could not even dull it. He pushed that thought away. He needed that comfort, and he would not theorize about its departure. He walked as quietly as he could. He heard the soft breathing of Theraint and Amy sleeping. He walked through the darkened mansion. He was in the garage a moment later. He opened the door. A thunderstorm had rolled in, and even though daylight had returned, the light was gray. A light drizzle dropped on him as he pushed the bike out of the garage and onto the street. He stood for a moment, looking back at the mansion, wondering if he was doing the right thing. It may not be right, but it's right for me, he said with a shrug. He whipped his leg over the bike. Once out of earshot, he started the bike with the push of a button. With the click of his foot, he kicked the bike into first gear and accelerated down the street. When he hit the highway, he just went and paid no attention to path or purpose. The speed helped, but not as much as he might have hoped. He rode to find some peace in himself, some reason to the path his life had gone in. She woke and knew immediately Taylor was gone. She felt a wave of sadness. She felt like crying, but instead she got out of bed, fixing a look of determination on her face, the same one that Taylor had put on the night before. They had to go. Ashley would need them. She trusted him. He would come in his own sweet time. But she knew him well enough to know he would come. She got up and went downstairs and looked quickly through the house. She only checked 1 or 2 rooms and then went straight for the garage. She creaked open the door. Some small hope still left that he was not gone. His bike was gone. Fuck, Trisha said. The hope now gone for good. She turned on her heel and walked into the kitchen. She walked into the house with the intent of starting some coffee. When she walked in, the pot was already made, and Theraint sat at the bar. Did you see him go? Trisha asked, assuming he'd already know about Taylor. No, I'm afraid I was so tired I was sleeping, Theraint replied. Do you think he's gone for good? Theraint asked. There was a hint of nerves in his voice. Theraint had always seemed like the mastermind before the trip to Holland, but now it was clear that there was no mastermind. Theraint was just like everyone else, trying to make his way through a situation that none of them had ever dealt with before. No, he'll be back, Trisha said, leaning into the frame of the giant window overlooking the valley. The rain falling as clouds whisked through. Part of her wanted to be lost, wanted to rely fully on Taylor to get them through this whole mess. However, Trisha set her resolve again. He has plenty on his plate. She decided that she would do what Taylor had done, make her way through it and be as brave as possible and do whatever she could. She would have to be all right with that. She just hoped Taylor would come to the same outlook. Amy woke up and came in. It didn't take long for her to figure out what happened. I hope he gets back soon, Amy said. I hope so too, but we cannot wait for him, Trisha said. Both Theraint and Amy looked at her confused. He knows where we will be. He also knew we were leaving out today. He will make it back or meet up with us there. He's healing, his way, she said and gazed back out the window. He'll be back when he is ready, Trisha added. A couple hours later, they loaded into the car. They pulled out into the city. Everyone's eyes were scanning the streets for some sign of Taylor. Of course, they saw none. They pulled into the airport and walked through the boarding area. They walked up onto the jet, all of them gazing, hoping to see a motorcycle pull in. It did not. Amy grabbed Trisha's hands as they took off. He'll come, she said. I know, Trisha replied confidently.